Hello Overwatch fans and welcome back to a new video where today we are going to go over all of the campaign and the new story missions that were released in Invasion, and we're also going to go over my personal opinions and how I felt whilst I was playing them, and we're just going to have a good time here, so let's get straight into it. The overall concept. Overwatch 2 Invasion missions are a continuation of the story of Overwatch after Winston's recall and the assembly of heroes old and new. The Invasion missions that have been released brings us the new biggest threat since Null Sector invasions back when Overwatch was founded. The Null Sector are back and are trying to round up Omnics for some unknown reason currently, and are being led by Ramatra, a former monk turned warlord due to his disbelief in humans and the cruelty he witnessed used on his fellow Omnic kind. Ramatra plans to take the world and cull the humans, in which he released one worldwide attack to enact his plan for domination. The heroes of Overwatch group together and combat the attack on Paris, and that takes us to our first mission in Rio de Janeiro.
We're being overrun! Null Sector is everywhere! Look, if anyone is listening, we could use some help.
Resistance. Lucio has called out for Overwatch to help defend his home in Rio de Janeiro, and whilst he defends alone against the Null Sector, Overwatch arrive. They clear the area of Omnics and take cover in Lucio's home to plan on how to mitigate or stop the threat, in which they plan to enter the Omnic carrier and destroy it from the inside. The heroes first need to clear the streets to reach their checkpoint, and when they reach the beach, Brigitte collects them on their ship and takes them to the Omnic carrier. Once inside, they find that there is a main core reactor that they need to destroy to take down the craft. So they head to the reactor room when they are met with a charger, a tough enemy that creates shields from the reactor. The heroes lead the charger into the reactor and valiantly win and escape the ship, to which they recruit Lucio as their new member. The team return to Watchpoint Gibraltar and find Cassidy and more new recruits to the team, and they plan to travel to Toronto to help there.
Please evacuate to the ferry terminal. Final evacuations are underway. All remaining civilians get to the ferry terminal. This is your last chance to get out of the city.
Liberation. We head to Toronto where a small group of civilians are being attacked by Null Sector, where Sojourn enters and terminates the threat and evacuates the group. Cassidy and Reinhardt find Sojourn and the rest of the group follow to assist her in evacuating Omnics. A ferry arrives at the docks and the heroes guide 3 groups of Omnics to safety while combating Null Sector and defending the ferry from damage. The team get a call from a lone Omnic, Claire, that is trapped in the underground train station after fleeing for help for her and a large group of Omnics. The heroes battle their way to Claire and are escorted by her through the underground, where they then meet with a new threat aptly named Subjugators, which are Null Sector drones that attach themselves to the Omnics and plant devices in their brains to render them unconscious. After defending Claire from the Subjugators, the team finds the cart of Omnics and discover that they have all been subjugated bar one. You and the Omnics fight to escape and manage to make it through the hordes of Omnics and make it to the ship where Sojourn contemplates joining Overwatch again. This finally leads to Reinhardt and Brigitte heading to Gothenburg to find Torbjorn to check what these devices are and how to remove them. Ironclad. Reinhardt and Brigitte arrive at the Ironclad factory where they meet Torbjorn and Bastion and attempt to uncover the truth behind these devices. However, the device is equipped with a tracking device which alerts the Null Sector of their location and an attack ensues. Their group notice a large Null Sector carrier ship and want to take it down, so they collect molten cores and escort them to Torbjorn's cannon turrets. They hit the ship with all they had, but the behemoth emerges from the ocean and destroys the turret cannon which was shooting the ship. And to avoid the behemoth leveling the city, they plan to take it down with the next cannon. They load the next cannon and recalibrate it, but before it could shoot the behemoth, it shot the cannon and destroyed it, to which they needed a new solution to take it down. Torbjorn, Brigitte, Reinhardt and Bastion traverse back to the Ironclad facility, where Torbjorn's biggest weapon is stored, Torbjorn begins charging it to full power, and the group defend against a null sector swarm until the weapon is finally fully charged and ready to fire. Just as the behemoth was about to shoot, the weapon fires into its core and destroys the giant Omnic and allows for Torbjorn to work. Reinhardt and Brigitte offer Torbjorn to join Overwatch again. However, he stays behind to take care of his family, but entrusts Bastion to the two so he can help Overwatch tackle the null sector. We then see a final cutscene where we see Ramatra discussing with Mondata about his plans, and offering Zenyatta to join him. However, Zenyatta refuses and remains in Nepal. Then, we return to present day, where Zenyatta is confronted by Widowmaker and Sombra, to which the mission ends. Now, that was a pretty quick overview, so I would really recommend playing the missions, and that is why we're going to quickly do the final overview, because honestly, I need to get this sorted. Overall, the missions were absolutely superb. I really enjoyed them. Even though the gameplay was very linear, overall it was a great experience. I absolutely adore the cinematics. The cinematics were perfect, in my opinion. Obviously, there are a few things that were problematic with the invasion missions themselves, where they lack replayability, but I think they kind of tried to combat that with the lore that they were trying to add in. So if you play this character, you can unlock this little snippet of lore, and then you can just keep on playing that character to unlock more. So I do find that cool. However, it doesn't really interest many people, like the casual players who don't really care about the lore of Overwatch but just want to play Overwatch itself won't really care about that. So it's a little bit annoying. You might not want to buy them because you don't think that you'll get the worth out of them, but honestly, as my opinion, I think that it was completely worth it buying these missions. I really enjoyed them. But I hope that Blizzard finally do try and sink some more resources into the actual main game itself, rather than the cutscenes and the visuals, because obviously we still want the same level of cutscene and visuals, but I would also like to see the same kind of effort put into the main game, because the main game, it's lacking. It's fine as a game itself. Obviously, people don't like the monetization. I honestly don't mind it. I do get annoyed with the fact that sometimes it is just way too much, like $35 or no, 35 quid, sorry, but $40 for Americans. For a pack where you get the 2,000 credits, which their supposed worth is $20, and then you get the invasion missions, which are worth $5. Well, nah, it's $15, so it's worth about $5 or $6. And then you've got the what else is there? The two $20 skins, which none of the skins should be $20. That is a ridiculous price. Honestly, I don't agree with that. That is one of the main things that I go, that's not worth it. I would never ever spend my money on those skins. But we're here to talk about the invasion missions, not the problems with the game. So overall, it lacks replayability, but they tried to combat that, which I appreciate. However, best part of the invasion missions was the interactions between the characters, was the story continuation, and was the cinematics, where they were all combined into one beautiful storyline. Really, it was something. But obviously, this is my opinion. Comment down below. What did you think about the invasion missions? I would love to know. But also, give me a like, give me a subscribe. It's always really appreciated. And I hope to see you in my next videos, where who knows what we'll be talking about next. Might be Path of Exile, might be more Overwatch. You never know. Anyways, in a bit.